sussing out your luck, going hard in the paint, and that's how you assert dominance.
Hey, what's up guys, it's SirTagCR, and today we're back at it again with a solid 12-0 Graveyard deck. Graveyard really hasn't been used too much in the meta because Poison denies all but 1 or 2 of the skeleton hits. But this deck is actually able to play around the Poison. Because you have Musketeer and Spear Goblin Hut, a lot of times you're going to be able to bait out your opponent's Poison and allow your Graveyard to have free reign on your opponent's tower. And if they don't deal with the Musketeer or the Spear Goblin Hut on defense, you're just going to get too much value and you'll eventually overwhelm your opponent. This is definitely my favorite deck in the meta, and I've been getting 12-0s left and right with this deck. Let's go jump straight into the chest and pray to God we get our final few Mega Knights. We're getting some gold, we're getting the Flying Machine, Bomb Tower, Valkyrie. Oh, we need to get epics soon, guys. Getting the Mega Minion, the Baby Dragon. We are starting to accrue some of the epics. Heal, I do not like the heal meta. I'm so glad that thing is gone. The RG, not the good RG, the kind of crappy RG that no one really likes. We're getting some pencils, we're getting the Witch, Minion Horde. We need all of our epics right here. Give me all of them. Unfortunately, we're not going to get a legendary. Hopefully it's going to be a decent... Yep, I curse myself, guys. We're not allowed to have nice things. This is why. This is why we can't have nice things. We just deserve clones all the time. Anyway, let's go jump straight into some GCs and let's assert some dominance. So we got a game against Asher. He's already saucing out the WoW. We're going to greet him cordially with another WoW. We're going to get ready and poised to drop our Goblin Hut as our initial starting play. We're going to be dropping our Goblin Hut, and this is what I like to see. I like being able to drop my Goblin Hut, play passively, and determine what he's going to do. As I said earlier on, if I'm able to bait out a Poison and I have Graveyard, that's the most optimal circumstance for me. Because he doesn't have Poison in Cycle, that's the best counter potentially for Graveyard. So I'm going to go in for my Ice Golem in Graveyard immediately. His Knight is going to be in Cycle, it's going to go bounce back towards the Skeletons, but it's not going to matter too much. And he's already crying because he knows he doesn't have Poison in Cycle, so this is really bad for him. The Poison is just going to barely miss the Electro Wizard, but the Electro Wizard will still walk into it. Poison will do its job. Electro might get one hit on the tower, but it's not too bad. It doesn't even get a hit. So that Poison didn't even matter. So, honestly, he's down so much. I can probably Poison cycle him out for the rest of the game if he decides to just save his Poison. He's actually got Graveyard. We're going to be dropping our Spear Goblin Hut, and then we're going to also be dropping our Guards. We dropped our Spear Goblin Hut and Guards apart a little bit, simply because we don't want to allow him to get some immaculate Poison value. Still, the Spear Goblin Hut is going to accrue so much damage on that right-hand side, and he's already saying good game because he used his Graveyard, and then he used his Poison. Whenever you use your Poison on offense, you're not going to have it for defense, and because he did that, he's going to be in a very precarious situation. Dropping our Ice Golem, we're going to go in for our Graveyard, and we're also probably going for a Poison. We're going in for a Poison because it's going to end up hitting the Electro Wizard, it's going to hit the Mega Minion, and it's also going to hit the Spear Goblin Hut. So look at that value and tell me it wasn't worth it. In this circumstance, because I have Guards and I have Musketeer, I feel like I can adequately defend, but in his circumstance, he really has to save Poison for defense. So it's all about the deck that you're running, and some decks that you really do have to save your Poison for defense against Graveyard. We'll be dropping our Spear Goblin Hut yet again, just making sure that we accumulate as many Spear Goblins as possible. Another thing I really want to do is I want to make sure that we win the battle at the bridge. If we don't allow him to get across the bridge, then he can't actually make any potential counter pushes, you know? Like, if you don't get across the bridge, you're not going to have a tank for your Graveyard. If you don't have a tank for your Graveyard, how are you ever going to make anything happen? So he's going to go in for an Electro to try to give me or try to bait out a Poison. It's going to end up working for him, but I do have a Musketeer. So as soon as he goes in for a Graveyard, I'm going to drop my Musketeer in the back. And I feel like I'll be in a pretty decent situation. We're going to go for a Musketeer, then we're going to go up for higher Guards. I assume he's not going to hit everything with the Poison. And look at that, guys. Our Guards are completely out of range, out of sight, out of mind. And we're going to go in for a Graveyard and punish him because we baited out his Poison. Now he doesn't have Poison in Cycle. We're going to go in for a Poison on top of the Spear Goblin Hut, the Electro, the Tower, and that's going to be game, guys. We're going to sauce out the good game, the well played, and the good luck in the rest of your GC session. Good game, Asher. And he's a sad panda. I'm sorry, dude. I had to do you dirty. So we got a game against Porchy from Titans. We're going to be dropping our Goblin Hut, and he's going to be starting an Ice Golem in the back. So I wonder if we're going to be running the same deck. Oh, there's a Hog Rider. I have not used to seeing that type of card. So the Royal Ghost is just going to decimate his Hog Rider, and we're going to have some pretty nice counter push. We're going to test the waters, see what he has in Cycle, because we know that he actually didn't have Poison. He had to have had another counter for it to be safe. A lot of times you can just outright take the game, so I stand by that play. I didn't really get rewarded for it, but, you know, I think it was definitely the best play in that situation. We're going to zap immediately on... And the zap right there just completely mitigates all damage from the minions. We're going to get ready with another Goblin Hut. We're going to drop it up a little bit higher so that he's not able to actually go in and get a Hog Rider Pig push. So he's going to go drop his Inferno Dragon. We're going to see what he wants to do. I assume he's also got Mega Knight as well. He might actually completely replace the Mega Knight in this deck with the Royal Ghost. That's also another thing that's a common trend. I don't really want to give him too much value with a poison, so I don't really want to drop my Musketeer early on. In fact, I'm just going to go drop my Ice Golem and drop a higher up Musketeer. Higher up Musketeer, make sure that he's not able to get value with a poison. He's going to go in with a... he's actually going to go in with minions instead. In fact, we're going to go in for guards to make sure that the Inferno Dragon and the minions don't lock onto our tower. And it's a little bit interesting to see that. So we have two things that we could potentially do. We could go in for a Royal Ghost and then Zap, which I most likely want to do, just to make sure that he doesn't get another hit on my tower, just saving one hit. I think it's a little bit worth it. And then we're just going to go in for another Goblin Hut. I'm going to wait for him to drop a Hog Rider though. Then we're going to go drop our Goblin Hut, just to conserve HP on it as much as possible. Dropping our Musketeer outside of range of the poison, and then his Inferno Dragon should just die to it as well. We're going to drop our guards to make sure that the Musketeer does not end up getting hit or even touched. And as long as we kill his Royal Ghost, which we can easily redirect with an Ice Golem and our own Royal Ghost, I think we're going to be in a great situation moving forward. The Ice Golem pops, and then he doesn't have minions in cycle. He doesn't have guards in cycle. I don't think he has enough elixir for a poison. What is he going to do? He's just going to eat that damage like a snack. Oh, that's absolutely insane. Skeletons are just surrounding that tower, eating it alive. He's got to go in for a Hog Rider. He's got to break through with a Hog Rider, but I don't see any potential of that happening. Especially if I drop my Musketeer and all my units outside of the poison, I really don't see him getting any damage. Because he's got to break through a Goblin Hut, but the Goblin Hut doesn't die to a poison, so yeah, it's rough times in the life of Porsche. We're going to go in for a poison because he doesn't have poison in cycle. He's going to accrue so much damage again, and the Inferno Dragon is just getting sniped by the Musketeer. Oh my gosh, he had no hope in this game, guys. There was absolutely no chance for a Hog Rider deck to win this. We're going to go in for guards. We're not even going to mess around with any defensive buildings. It's not even worth our time. Because if we drop a defensive building, it's not going to have any counter push potential. We're going to go in for our poison. We're going to go in for our zap. The skeletons should get enough hits. We know that he dropped a defensive poison as well. We're going to drop our Royal Ghost on defense, and that's going to be game. Good game, bro. So we got a game, and we just dropped our Goblin Hut. The man drops a bowler, and then we drop an Ice Golem. So after seeing the bowler and the Baby Dragon, it's most likely going to be a Splash Yard deck. If I had to guess, it really is looking akin to a Splash Yard deck. He's going to go in for a poison preemptively, so him going in for a poison like that, I know that he probably doesn't have log. Let's go push the limits, let's push the boundaries, go opposite lane, try to make something happen with a guards push, because he has NATO. Guards 3 for 3, dropping a NATO on guards is never really a good play. My guards are just going to eradicate his tower, so much damage. Oh, that was a spanking and a half, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go drop my Ice Golem. The Ice Golem is going to take the targeting of the Electro Wizard, and then the Electro Wizard, it's really not going to accomplish anything. I could have alternatively dropped a Goblin Hut, but I want to keep that a little bit healthier. Alright, so hopefully we can bait out another poison with the Goblin Hut, or maybe we can get him to drop a adventurous Baby Dragon that we can snipe with the Musketeer. That would be even better. So he's going to go in for a bowler, he's going to go in for a graveyard as well, we're going to go in for a poison immediately, he's going to go drop his Ice Spirit. As I said, guys, as soon as you see the bowler and Baby Dragon, that combo is very indicative of a graveyard deck, so I'm not very surprised to see that. He doesn't have NATO in cycle, so he can't actually pull my RG to the King Tower. That's something that you really want to be doing if you have NATO. If you guys have not done that before, pulling the Royal Ghost to the King Tower if you have NATO is always a pretty good play. I could go the same lane as him, but I don't really want to. Rather just allocate Elixir to the opposite lane, and I'd rather not allow him to do counter pushes. If you go same lane as a bowler player, if you go same lane as a Splash Yard player in general, that's kind of what they want to have happen. If you go same lane as them, guess what? They can drop a bowler, and then they can counter push. Notice how the bowler is going to go in the left-hand lane and not in the lane that he has all his damage. That's something that I really look forward to seeing. We're going to also go in for our Goblin Hut. We could actually try to bait out a poison with this Musketeer. If he poisons this Musketeer, sure, it will kill the Musketeer, but then he doesn't have an answer to the graveyard, and we will end up taking this dub if that happens. We're going to go in for our own poison, and it looks like he went in for his poison as well, so this is where the magic happens, guys. We're going to go in for a graveyard, we're going to go in for an Ice Golem to tank. He's actually going to block back the Ice Golem with that bowler, so that was a really well played maneuver, but it's not going to matter. The skeletons are going to end up surrounding the tower, and I think we're just going to... He's going to sustain massive damage, and the game is going to be ours. We're We're going to go in for a Musketeer, actually. So he is formulating some type of push. He did a really good play there. But him just dropping that poison, you can't do that. When you're down that much damage, you got to actually get tower damage. You can't just rely on, like, just chip damage from a poison. It's not going to matter. So he played a little bit too cautious at the end, and as a result, we're going to take the dub. So we got a game against Felix MPWA. What's up, dude? So we're going to drop our Goblin Hut, and he's going to be dropping guards in the back. Guards in the back, can't really tell too much about his deck. It's probably going to be a control deck, though. Might actually be Graveyard, or it might be a minor control deck. So there's the poison. Seeing the poison just confirms my suspicions, but we don't know for sure yet. Alright, so what are you going to be up to? After seeing the Electro, it's going to be either a Mega Knight or it's going to be a P.E.K.K.A deck. I have to assert that. I think that it's going to be one of those decks for sure. We're going to be dropping our Musketeer up high. Going to give him value if he wants to drop a P.E.K.K.A, I guess. Still end up killing the Electro Wizard, allowed our Musketeer to stay alive a little bit longer. And we're going to have some type of counter push. He's already exhausted his Zap, and our Musketeer baited out minions. So now he doesn't have minions for the graveyard, so that made him actually expend more elixir, and he had to drop guards in that instance. So definitely not something that he wanted to do. 6 elixir in a counter graveyard, usually not really the best trade on defense. You never really want to overspend on defense, and we got him to overspend on defense in that scenario. Also, we've kind of just scouted out his entire deck. We know that he has poison, we know he has guards, and we know that he actually has minions. So every single time he doesn't have poison in cycle, and we go in for a graveyard, he has to drop guards or he has to drop minions. And those two cards are always going to be dropped right on top of the graveyard, so if I have poison in cycle, he's going to sustain massive losses. We're going to be dropping our Musketeer in the back, he's going to be dropping the Royal Ghost. We assume we're going to have another bridge duel, battle to the death at the bridge. He's going to drop a P.E.K.K.A as soon as we win this. Okay, so he's going to drop it in the back. He does not have Graveyard back in cycle, or he does not have Poison back in cycle. So all of his units, as I said before, guys, they're going to get poisoned. Those guards that he's going to probably drop, or minions, they're all going to get poisoned. And that's going to be a lot of damage. The skeletons are going to go on top of the tower. Royal Ghost even gets a few hits, a few swipes. And the thing is, I can eat those guards. I really don't care too much about the guard damage. I'm going to drop my Goblin Hut, and I'm going to drop a high Ice Golem. The high Ice Golem should pull everything, or at least pull the Royal Ghost, so I don't have to deal with that for a certain period of time at least. And then I can go drop my guards right on top. Just because I allowed a little bit more time, I was able to deal with that adequately just because of that play. That Ice Golem was so significant. I'm going to be dropping a Goblin Hut, and he's getting some damage, but I don't think it's going to be enough. As long as we get one more graveyard through, if we bait out one more poison, the game will be over. The game will be in the bag for us, so to say. We're going to be dropping our Ice Golem. He's going to get really frisky. Yet again, we're going to be dropping a Musketeer outside of the range of the poison. We're going to drop guards to make sure that the Musketeer is staying alive. And the Musketeer should DPS down his Miner. Because he did use his poison, that means that we have a free opportunity to go in for a graveyard, go in for our poison, and secure the W right here, right now. And that's going to be game, guys. Royal Ghost should get on top of the tower, or the skeleton should just evaporate him. And actually, Little Larry did not do his job right there. So, Little Larry, I'm disappointed in you, sir. We're going to be dropping Ice Golem, and we're going to be going in for a poison, and then we got to go in for a zap. This is going to be so close, down to the wire, but we end up taking the victory. And that's actually going to end today's video. Make sure to let me know down below in the comments section how this deck ends up working for you. I hope you enjoy it. And make sure to check out my Instagram. My Instagram will be down below in the comments section as the pinned comment. It will be in the description. It is SirTagCR. I'm going to be posting decks pretty regularly. So if you guys follow my Instagram, you'll always know what deck is working best for me in each meta. And it will keep you guys up to date with the meta. As always, thanks for chilling with me, and I can't wait to see you guys next time. Peace out.